Now these are the various lectures in Madras, very powerful language. Even today when you read, they look so fresh. Jawaharlal Nehru said when he spoke about these lectures, they look so fresh even today, after so many years. That is right. It comes from the mouth of a great sage, of a rishi. And therefore, Swamiji created a tremendous impression in Madras, and later on, through these lectures coming out in book form, inspired many people to join the fight for freedom. Many of the freedom fighters were inspired by Swami Vivekananda. They themselves have said it, and Mahatma Gandhi has said in a speech at Belur when he came there, I have not come to preach Satyagraha here. I have come to the place where the great Vivekananda lived. I want to take something of that inspiration. And I want all of you also to take some inspiration from here. I have studied his books carefully. After studying them, my love for India has become thousandfold, is the language. If all of us can develop 1% love for the nation, we can solve our problem. There is no love for the nation at all. Love only for oneself, especially after independence. And therefore, this wonderful idea, literature of strength, literature of man making and nation building, as he calls it, this is what you find. And his words against untouchability is tremendous. He spoke of Kerala at that time, where not only untouchability was there, unseeability also was there. Some sections cannot be seen even. If you see them, you must take a bath. That's called unseeability. Swamiji saw this madness and said, the whole Kerala is a madhouse, all lunatics. This language he has used. And today, Kerala is completely free from all types of untouchability. People have risen to the highest level through education, exactly the way Swamiji wanted. You will find it happening there. So, untouchability, caste exclusiveness, pride, I am a Brahmin, I am this and that. Sri Ramakrishna did many sadhanas. One sadhana is unique. Nobody else has done it. Coming from a clean Brahmin family, he used to go to the latrine of a paraya next to Dakshineshwar temple at midnight and clean it, praying, Mother, remove the pride in me that I am a Brahmana, I am a superior caste. Make me the servant of all. Make me the servant of all. That one sadhana has a tremendous significance for our country today. We are so full of these petty ideas of status, superiority, that democracy can never come to us. Political democracy must become social democracy. That cannot come without this kind of change of attitude. So from Madras he goes to Calcutta, his own native place. Big reception was there, 2-3 lectures were delivered there. Then Almora, then goes to Lahore. In Lahore, big reception. Arya Samaj and many other institutions combined together gave a tremendous reception. Among the 3 lectures, one lecture is famous, about 2 hours lecture on Vedanta. Big gathering was there. Swami Ramatirtha was a professor at that time. He helped to organize that lecture. In that lecture, you find another inspiring utterance coming to us. He says, therefore, young men of Lahore, raise once more that mighty banner of Advaita, non-duality, non-separateness, that we are all one. For on no other ground can you have that wonderful love until you will see that the same Lord is present everywhere. Samam pashyan hi sarvatra Samavasthitam Ishwaram. This is there in the Gita. The same Ishvara present everywhere. Realize that truth, says Krishna in the Gita. Unfurl that banner of love. Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached. Arise, arise once more, for nothing can be done without renunciation. If you want to help others, your little self must go. In the words of the Christians, you cannot serve God and Mammon at the same time. Have vairagya. Your ancestors gave up the world for doing great things. At the present time, there are men who give up the world to help their own salvation. Throw away everything, even your own salvation, and go and help others. You are always talking bold words, but here is practical Vedanta before you. Give up this little life of yours. What matters it if you die of starvation, you and I, and thousands like us, so long as this nation lives? The nation is sinking. The curse of unnumbered millions is on our heads. Those to whom we have been giving ditch water to drink, when they have been dying of thirst, while the perennial river of water was flowing past. See that unnumbered millions. The unnumbered millions whom we have allowed to starve in the sight of plenty. The unnumbered millions to whom we have talked of Advaita and who we have hated with all our strength. The unnumbered millions for whom we have invented the doctrine of Lokachara. Yes, this untouchability is a Lokachara, we must observe it. That's how we justify it, Lokachara. To whom we have talked theoretically that we are all the same and are all one with the same Lord, without even an ounce of practice. Yet, my friends, it must be only in the mind, never in practice. If you ask Pandits, if you ask priests, this is the language they will tell you. Keep Advaita in your mind. Don't practice it. You make distinctions. That must remain. Swamiji is referring to that. Wipe off this blot. That's the language. Wipe off this blot. Arise and awake. What matters it if this little life goes? Everyone has to die. The saint or the sinner, the rich or the poor. Body never remains for anyone. Arise and awake and be perfectly sincere. Our insincerity in India is awful, even today, 1992, Swamiji's time also. Insincerity, absolutely awful it is. What we want is character, that steadiness and character that make a man cling on to a thing like grim death. Tremendous power of conviction. Then we can change this world. A few people with the power of conviction. That's what we need. In these lectures, Swamiji gave these great ideas. He had particularly two sections of our people in view to awaken them, raise them to the highest. One is women, the other is the common people. Both have been suppressed for ages. Women's education, common people's education. Through education alone, you can raise a nation. Europe became modern when it gave education to its people. That's the period of modern European history. We have yet to become that modern. A few top people educated doesn't make the nation modern. The whole nation must become educated. Then India will be entering fully the modern age. Women's education is absolutely essential. Perfect equality between man and woman. That is the Vedic teaching. That must come to India. He said, a bird cannot fly on one wing. It needs two wings. A society cannot progress when only men are educated and women are not. Both must be educated. These are the examples he gave at that time. And so, He wanted to start a mutt for women, a nunnery for women. But conditions were not favorable at that time. Educated women were not many. Sister Nivedita, Sister Christine, and a few others, all of them conducted a girls' school in Calcutta at that time, and the Holy Mother was the inspiration for all of them. Swamiji said, based upon the Holy Mother, we shall have a women's mutt. That desire of Swamiji became realized in 1953 during the centenary of the Holy Mother. And 1959, an independent Sharda Mutt was started in Calcutta to fulfill Swamiji's dream that these nuns will carry this great message of Vedanta to various countries and various parts of India. And it is actually doing today. They are highly developed. Many branches are there, one in foreign countries, in Australia, that is Sydney. An Australian girl has joined also as a brahmacharini. So this is one part of the story. Then he started the mutt, Belur mutt. They continued the great work of Sri Ramakrishna, for which he wanted the original sannyasins to join together, took up a house for 10 rupee rent because it was a haunted house. You could get it cheap. So there the Ramakrishna Mutt started in Calcutta, Baranagore, opposite to Belur Mutt. From that, it shifted to Belur Mutt later on, before Swamiji passed away. Ramakrishna Mutt, Ramakrishna Mission, two organizations to serve the people without respect of caste, creed, nationality or anything, looking upon them as sparks of the divine. That is the purpose. Every type of service, physical, mental, spiritual, service during calamities. Just then, plague broke out in Calcutta. There was a panic in the city. Our workers went under the leadership of Sister Nivedita and helped immensely in pacifying the people and cleaning up various bastis of Calcutta. At the beginning. Then famine relief, various other types of relief, which you know already, that is going on as a tradition. So Swamiji wanted this kind of service to be the central principle of religion, the spirit of service. Your neighbor is in front of you. You neglect him, and where are you going? To search for God. God is in your heart. God is the heart of the other person also. So finding here through meditation and finding there through seva, let these two go together.